Are you looking for valuable business advice to reach that 7-figure revenue mark? Do you want actionable tips to properly navigate through every business challenge you encounter along the way? Let Tersh Blissett and Josh Crouch be your guide in getting you to the top here at Service Business Mastery. Tune in as they sit down with world-renowned authors in business, leadership, and personal growth who share valuable insights about management, marketing, pricing, human resources, and so much more. Let their nuggets of wisdom gold guide you in owning a thriving, profitable, and ever-growing business. Here are your hosts, Tersh and Josh.
Join us for the most magical contractor experience at this year's Service World Expo in Orlando, Florida, from October 15th to the 17th, 2024. Enjoy keynotes, breakout sessions, 4-hour workshops, social mixers, and an exhibit hall with industry-leading products and podcasts just like this one. Network with other residential contractors and hear from keynotes Damon John, Matt Michelle, John Formica, Kyle Sheely, and Kristen and Justin Dees, all designed to help contractors like you to elevate their business. Register now and use promo code SBMSAVE100 for $100 off. Visit ServiceWorldExpo.com to register today. We look forward to seeing you there.
Today's episode is powered by Rilla Voice.
Rilla has taken those cumbersome, time-consuming ride-alongs and streamlined the entire process by leveraging AI technology to do dozens or hundreds of ride-alongs virtually every single day.
They also provide you, the owner or manager, with the top performers KPI metrics designed easily for you to coach your team into rock stars.
Schedule a demo today at www.rilla.com.
Hello, everyone out there in podcast world. Hope everyone having a wonderful day. You're listening to or watching Service Business Mastery Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Tersh Blissett. For those of you who have never listened to or watched this podcast, it is a podcast focused on home service businesses, owners, managers, and technicians who are considering becoming business owners themselves. We are here live at the BDR Spark 2024 event in Savannah, Georgia, my hometown. And I am super honored to be here with Matthew Abbott with Abbott Family Agency.
Family Insurance, that's the website. I know everybody gets confused, and we are an agency, so tomato.
Okay, cool. So we're going to talk a little bit about insurance, but one of the great things about being at an event like this is getting to network and learn from other people. But it's not just meeting the other contractors and stuff, which is amazing. I love talking to contractors about things that they have done that work and don't work and everything else. But the other cool thing is to talk with other vendors. So Matthew and his team are one of the preferred vendors for BDR. And so that really does mean something and it's special. So I'm super excited to talk to Matthew. And I'd love to hear your backstory and how you got into doing what you're doing.
Sure, man. It's a journey like anything. And, I started out 18, fresh out of high school, went to the military. Did basic at Fort Benning, Georgia, and that whole thing. But I got attached to a unit that was on deployment. So I showed up, and there's like 5 dudes in the whole building, right? I got like 1 NCO, a couple of specialists.
How long was it like that?
Like 6 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I arrived to the unit in October, okay? And that's right before open enrollment, and I'm sitting around, and my dad is Jason Abbott, one of the coaches here, and he's known as like a really high-energy guy, and well, I'm his son. And so we're in this cough, and I'm like, dude, I can't just sit here and pull CQ for 6 weeks and do nothing.
It's miserable, dude.
Oh, man.
I literally asked you that because I experienced the exact same thing.
No kidding. Wow. Yeah, wow. Boring is the word.
Clean up everything.
I was a janitor.
Yeah, until you can't clean again and then clean it again.
Get the buffer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man. And I saw an ad that, hiring for insurance agents, open enrollment coming up. And this was kind of like right at the beginning of Obamacare. Okay. And this is 2010. So it literally just happened.
Yeah.
It was a shit show.
Yeah.
It was a big shit show. But I got licensed, and I really did that part-time for almost a decade. And I served for 8 years. I got out. Didn't really know how to navigate the civilian world. And
it's for people who have not experienced it before. You may be listening to this and you're like, I don't know what you're really talking about. The hero to zero complex is a real deal.
Dude.
Like, it's crazy.
I went from being an NCO in the United States Army to washing cars.
Nothing. Yeah.
Dude, my infantry credentials didn't mean squat to nobody.
I mean, outside of the military world, people don't, it's not the same understanding and grasp. Like, we're in Savannah. We have every branch of military here.
Right.
And we love vets. We treat vets like to the most standard that possible. But it's still not like being in the military.
No.
And then you move somewhere like Tampa.
Tampa isn't
100%.
as bad. It was Fort Lauderdale where I went first.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Tampa's actually pretty good like Savannah because we got the Navy and the Air
That's
Force
true.
there.
Yeah.
And there's actually a really good presence of veterans that retire in Tampa. We got like one of the best VAs around. But Fort Lauderdale, man, it was in the city for me. I grew up cow country, Western New York, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like I would ride my bike to my best friend's house who's on a dairy farm, you know, and to go from the military, which is Bragg's pretty populated. Well, Liberty now, excuse me.
Maybe.
Yeah. It's a really populated base, one of the most populated in the country, but it didn't feel like a major city, right?
Right.
Fort Lauderdale, I got hit by a car. I almost got jumped by a homeless person. I got chased down the street by like 5 homeless people over on 5th Ave. And dude, I was like,
at what point you're like, nah, I don't think Fort Lauderdale's
this
for me.
place is not for me. And I lived in a pretty nice area.
Yeah.
The girl I was dating at the time, she was hyper successful in her own right. And we had a real sweet condo.
Yeah.
So we weren't in a rough place, but the rough places bleed everywhere in Fort Lauderdale. And I was like, man, I'm not raising a family here. I'm not doing any of this. So I was still washing cars at the time. And so I went over to Tampa. I was like, I need to get my degree. I need to figure out my life because this sucks.
Yeah.
This sucks bad. And so I started school, SPC, and then I was working as a call center rep for my dad, a home services company.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so I worked my way up over finishing my degree. I actually finished my degree and they hired me as their plumbing manager.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I did that for a whole year and, you know, never to say anything bad about anyone, but I was just kind of hitting a point in my stride in the civilian world where I was like, I don't want to answer to anyone.
Okay. Yeah.
I took
I
orders.
can't be, I'm not a very good employee.
Nah.
I struggle with that personally. Like I know that about myself. Like I'm not very hireable.
Yeah, that's what I kind of was figuring out there, man. And, you know, I had been doing open enrollments at that point for like 10 years and I had a pretty good book of business. And I was like, you know what? Like, I don't want to take orders anymore. I'm pretty good at this insurance thing.
So you were doing that even while you were in the Army?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's something that you could do part-time-ish?
From a phone and a computer.
Huh.
Yeah. And I just took calls when I could take calls. If I was around, I took appointments.
What happens if you had like a client who needed something and you're on deployment? Or you're
sure. Yeah. So I was a captive agent at that point. So really, I make a sale and I run away, which is why insurance agents have such a bad reputation, right?
Yeah.
And it wasn't that I ever implicitly just left my clients out. That's how I maintained my book of business. When I was available, I answered the phone, and I did use my military service to help me cinch up some deals, of course, right? So most of my client base understood that if I am not answering my phone, it's because I can't answer my phone. So I had a really good relationship with my client base, and then it really just, I mean, here we are today, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, like all in.
Today's episode is powered by Cirrus Systems.
Cirrus is all about removing the clutter and unnecessary touch points to run your home service business profitably.
They use AI dispatching to get the right tech to the right call automatically and job time efficiency to ensure your entire team runs like a profit-generating machine.
Get a tech upgrade for your business at get.sarah.tech/service-business-mastery.
So what does it consist of now?
Yeah, so I've been doing the individual and family stuff, like I said, for like the better part of the last 10 years. But really 2 years ago, the government kind of beefed up premium tax credits. They opened up some things that were kind of restricting enrollments into the marketplace. And I kind of took my experience that I had with Joe Cool Home Services out of Tampa, Florida in Pinellas County. And I saw the problems with workers' comp. I saw the problems with guys getting hurt and not having 10 grand for a deductible to go and get the surgery that they needed. So now they're limping around the office for 6 months and trying to save or asking the boss for money or coming to me for money or whatever it was, right? So like in my head, after walking away from all this, I just started working the problem back in my head. Like, how do I fix that?
Yeah.
And so what I came up with is, if you're under 50 employees, really, this is my whole thing, is what makes me completely different.
Yeah.
Once you're over 50, like, if you have a license and you can sell employer insurance, you're going to get the same quotes that I'm going to get. So at that point, the employer's just making a relational choice.
Okay, gotcha.
Right? So under 50, I'm completely unique. There's nobody that's doing what I'm doing. Now, there are some people, I think there's maybe 1,000 of us across the whole country that can do what I'm doing with the Affordable Care Act stuff, but they haven't figured it out the rest of the way like I did.
So now, is this going to be like something special or specific for home service industries, or
any business under 50? It works super well for the service businesses because the plans are income rated, right? And in the service company world, you have CSRs who, even on the top end, maybe make 50 or 60,000, and have a family, right? And then, you know, even your service manager, if your service manager makes 100 and 120,000 a year, he's not going to get great premium tax credits, but if he's got a family, he will. So, like,
that's, I mean, in the Southeast, like that's generous pay for a service manager.
Right. Yeah, it is. It totally is. And I shoot on the high side just to show how powerful it is, right? So my example is always this: 35-year-old mom, 35-year-old dad, 2 kids, one's 15, one's 8. Okay. Household income is 100,000 in the state of Florida. And it's pretty close. Like, when I check them across all the different states, it'll be about $427 a month for that whole family's medical coverage.
Really?
$400 total.
Yeah, that's not what we normally hear about.
No, brother.
See,
no.
The challenge that I have, the challenge that we have, Julie and I, is we get TRICARE Select, right? So whenever we're like, it's a pain point that we feel for our employees and our team members, but we don't feel the same pain point personally. So It's like, damn, I want to relate, but I can't relate. I don't really want to relate. Like, I don't want to, but having that military insurance,
I'm in the same boat as you, brother.
It's like, wow, like I can't. And then I hear some people saying that they're paying $2,000 and $3,000 premiums.
Oh yeah,
it's like,
that's normal.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that
normal, blows
dude.
My mind.
Yeah.
So as a small business owner that's less than 50 employees, what do we need to know?
Yeah, you need to know that there is a new way to do it with the same products that have been around. Okay. The Affordable Care Act has been a thing for over a decade.
Yeah.
The problems are fleshed out. I was there at the beginning, and like I said at the beginning of this, it was a shit show.
Yeah, I remember.
Oh, dude.
It was crazy.
Crashing websites, enrollments missed, premiums not getting paid. I mean, I was doing customer service calls left and right, man.
Yeah.
Now it's super easy. I mean, folks could even sign up for themselves, but what you lose is you lose me as an advocate, really.
Okay.
So that's like part of the extras that I offer is, like, say you need a knee surgery. I'll help, or my team will help you find a provider if you need it, or if you need help with getting the claims processed, or whatever you need.
So
it's really boutique in that way.
If you're enjoying this content and this episode in particular, please go ahead and whatever program you're on, whether it's Spotify, Apple, YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to that channel and then leave us a review when you get a chance. We'd love to hear your feedback on the content if it's been valuable for you. That stuff helps us really create better content and get better guests and also grow the podcast. So we really appreciate your support. Now back to your episode.
Are you saying that we move away from having a whole company?
Yes.
Type thing and work on individuals?
100%. It's all at the individual level, really. And when you do that, I can't give away all my secrets because then it would be out for the world to steal. But I have a way to make it where you, as Mr. Employer, can make sure that premium is paid every single month. The employee will never see that money.
So you don't have to worry, because we've done something not necessarily exactly like this, but where we negotiated a price and everything, but it still had the employer or the employee had to pay. And so, like, I am paying a little bit extra to make sure that you're getting this, but I don't know if you're actually putting that towards your insurance or if you're just pocketing
the cash. Yeah. So I have the workaround on that to make sure that your employees have the major medical. And then kind of the whole thing is I'm a man of the people at the end of the day. I'm a salt of the earth kind of guy. I was a private in the Army, right? I understand what it feels like to be the boot.
Yeah.
And so when I come to employers and I say, if you're offering group insurance and you're doing the state minimum, 50% employee only contribution, and you're doing nothing else, I'm likely going to save you about $40,000 a year in premiums on 20 employees, right? Okay. That's kind of like my benchmark there. If you're a really profitable company and your benefits package is super rich, it's a lot closer to $80,000 a year. And so, sorry, buddy, I know you want to put all that money back in your pocket, but I'm not going to let you. And the reason why is the ACA does have gaps. It has a pretty large deductible in most cases. It does have a large max out of pocket. So to make sure that the employee at the lowest level is okay and can get the treatment that they need, everybody's got to take accident insurance. Everybody's got to take critical illness insurance, dental, vision if you want to. I got a guy in Texas. He's got a few girls in his office that are pregnant right now. And with all the money I saved him this year, he's paying for them all to have a doula in the delivery room with them.
Wow.
Yeah. Fully paid.
That's cool.
Yeah. So it's really empowering, from what I can tell, the business owner to do some pretty creative things with their benefits, tool programs, and all these different things, especially in the trades. Yeah. And it's helping them stand out, like big time.
Yeah. When it comes to hiring, when you have a quote unquote labor shortage, having a benefits package that's like that.
Yeah. It's a Fortune 500 benefits package, 50% of the cost.
Yeah.
Or better.
Yeah.
I got Gene's Refrigeration, BDR client or member, excuse me. And they're about 65 employees, but they kind of have the company split up into two LLCs because they do like service in one LLC, sales and install in the other. Yeah. And his bill was like $224,000 a year, I think. And we slashed it by 64% for him and gave him a better product.
Hello, home service professionals. Do you want to maximize your marketing budget? Then you need to be using call tracking from CallRail. Let's say you noticed a spike in new leads this month. To find out what's driving them, you just log into your CallRail dashboard. Is my new Facebook ad outperforming my other ads? Or is paid search knocking it out of the park? Or maybe it's time to retire those newspaper ads. Since CallRail assigns a unique phone number to each of my marketing efforts, I know where my best leads come from and which efforts to scrap. CallRail shows you your most cost-effective marketing channels so you can get back to business. Go to callrail.com/SBMpod and try it for free.
Yeah, so that's the other problem. If you cut the cost in half, but then the service or the product that you're getting is cut in half too, then it's like, yeah.
Right.
That sucks.
Yeah, that does suck, right? Like, no one wants to be in that situation. You want the best for your people if you care about them, right? And all I'm doing is just providing the ability for the small business to offer something comprehensive and honestly, like, great,
When does this have to be done? Open enrollment?
Sort of, yes and no. So if you're what we call a virgin group, you have no group benefits. Yes, you're waiting for an open enrollment period because I'm not doing 50 Medicaid requests for denials to do that. No. So if you don't have insurance,
what does it do now?
Yeah, so there's a workaround in insurance where if you don't have an enrollment period, so like you're a high income earner, dude, right? Like you're an entrepreneur. Like we don't usually get premium tax credits, right? So for someone like you, if you needed to get health insurance quickly, what I would do is I know you're not getting Medicaid. I'm going to submit a request and an application to Medicaid to make sure that you get denied. I want you to get denied. Okay. Once you get denied, it creates a new SEP, a special enrollment period. Okay. Right. So if I've got a virgin group that doesn't have the enrollment period, I'm not doing 50 of those.
Oh yeah. You got 50 employees.
Yeah. No, thanks. You're going to wait. You're going to wait for November. So if you have group insurance currently, the act of canceling that group insurance creates the SEP. And I just do it in a way that there's no lapse, right? Yeah, so there's no like, guys, we're not going to have insurance for this month. Keep your fingers crossed. Yeah, no one do anything. Yeah, right.
No jumping dirt bikes across ditches and shit.
Exactly, right? So you don't have to worry about that. And we could do it all year long because of that.
Okay, gotcha. Cool.
Yeah, man.
For people who want to reach out to you, what's the best way?
My website is AbbottFamilyAgency.com. There's all the normal contact me there stuff. You can also give me a shout. My cell phone number is 727-744-5716. We are a boutique operation. Doesn't require too much hand-holding. So if you're my client, you get my cell phone.
Yeah. So you, and even if you're not, if you listen to the podcast, you get his cell phone. And
truly.
Goat Torture is coming later. So,
all right, you're right. That probably was something I should have thought through here as a Virgin podcast attendee. I guess the internet is going to have some fun with that. But you know what?
have you ever been goat tortured?
No, but I can piece some things
I
together
don't
in
know.
my head.
Apparently, who needs enemies when you have friends like mine? So we live in a farming area. It's not uncommon for one of our friends to put on, say, Craigslist, one of our phone numbers and say, free goats, accidentally born, accidentally harvested. And, but I work third shift, so only call me between 1 a.m. and 4 a.m.
Oh, my God.
Sometimes I don't have a good reception, so if I don't pick up the phone, don't leave a voicemail. Just call me back again.
Oh, my God. That's savage.
So for about 2 weeks, you might get like 1,200 phone calls every morning.
Oh, man. Oh, that's interesting.
So I have wonderful friends.
Yeah, you do. They sound like fun, man.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be going bow fishing in February, and I just got the invite actually to like 10 minutes before I started talking to you, and it's one of my buddies in insurance, and he's a really nice guy, and he never served or anything like that, but he goes, now, are you gonna be okay if it's like 9 o'clock till midnight? Do you need to sleep? And he's a little older too, and I'm like, sleep? I got a 4-month-old dude. I don't even know what sleep is.
Right? That's awesome.
So yeah, there's 2 types of good friends. My Army friends are quite like that and giving out some goat torture, but lately in the insurance world, the white collar stuff is a little bit more friendly, I've found.
Yeah.
Not as fun.
For sure. Cool, man. I appreciate you hanging out with me, and it's been good, like hanging out and just even in passing, just getting to know you a little bit.
Definitely.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, when you find a vet and it's not like, some vets, right? It's nice.
Yeah,
It's not often, right?
Right.
So I appreciate you.
Yeah,
Thank you for having me on here. I know that this is going to be wonderful exposure to tradespeople specifically because that's what I want to help. Salt of the earth, infantry, plumbers, infantry, HVAC. It's kind of that same vibe. And I did a lot of doctors and lawyers last year, and I'm like, damn, you're pompous.
Yeah. It's not the same.
Nah.
Even if you wear a 3-piece suit in the HVAC world, it's not the same.
No.
50 states.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Oh, yeah. We're everywhere.
Cool.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, bud.
No, thank you.
Yeah, see you.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Service Business Mastery. Now that you are equipped with essential business advice from this impactful conversation, you are one step closer to becoming the successful owner of your dreams. If this episode has been helpful to your business journey, don't forget to subscribe to the show, leave a rating, and share it with other owners as well. Visit ServiceBusinessMastery.com to learn more.